Hello friends, and welcome back to our homestead. This is the September month, and September is known as the harvest month. That means we harvest lots of produce and we put it away for the winter. And in my culture, in the Russian Ukrainian culture, we celebrate harvest in all of our churches, calling it Праздник жатвы, which translates holiday of the harvest, and we thank the Lord for all of the blessings and all of the harvest that the Lord supplied us with. And when you have all this harvest, you need to know how to preserve it. So September is also known as the preservation month. And the theme of 2024 is actually known as Preserve the Past, Shape the Future. So what is one of the most important preservation items we all need? We cannot preserve food without it, is salt. We need to have enough salt on hand. We go through lots of salt on this homestead, whether it is for cooking, for fermenting foods, and we do ferment lots of foods. And if you have not seen my fermenting cabbage and carrots and zucchinis and cucumbers, you name it, we do lots and lots of fermenting because it's a beautiful lacto-fermented probiotic that is so essential to our immune system. We need it. There's no ifs or buts about it. We must have it. So you need salt, good quality salt. And there are some salts that deserve our attention, and there's some salts that should not be used. But I'm not going to mention what they are. Yes, I'm going to say table salt. Don't use table salt, please. Table salt only has two ingredients, sodium chloride, maybe added iodine. But that's added, that's not natural. So that's really does not deserve our respect that much. However, sea salt, Celtic sea salt, Sicilian sea salt, Redmond sea salt, Himalayan sea salt, now that's salt. That has lots of beautiful micronutrients and minerals that we essential to our body. Means we don't produce them. Essential means we don't make them, we need them. And how do we get them? We get them through salt. So we need to have plenty of salt on hand, okay? So we can use it today, tomorrow, and just in case the supermarket shelves are empty, we will have it tomorrow. So let me show you how I like to store away salt for long-term storage. Because why? It's a preservation month. I like to shop in bulk, and this is a gigantic bag. How many pounds is this? Goodness, it's 22 pounds, which is 10 kilos of salt. And this will last us quite some time, but not as, this is not as much salt as you may think, because between cooking and salting to preserve different canning products and fermenting and then making our own bacon, lots and lots of salt goes into all of those preservation projects. So this is why I like to purchase everything in bulk and then store away for future use. So let me open this big bag that I have here. And first I need to replenish my container that I use every day for cooking and salting. And it's just a ceramic old beautiful pot that I've had for a long, oh, I'm making a mess, for a long time. All right, so I'm just gonna fill that up. I know it's unrefined salt. It's quite coarse. It's very coarse salt. It's beautiful. Okay, it's a beautiful salt. And once in a while, even I find a little rock. I just saw one falling. It's not unusual that you will see some rocks. And then after it sits like this in the big coarse salt, we put it in a salt cracker, is that what you call it? I don't even know. And then we crush it and we grind it to little salt that we need when we need to serve food or whatnot. So salt, if it's left open like this, eventually will become very hard because it's going to absorb all the moisture from the air and going to become hard as a rock. And it's going to be very difficult to use that. So this is how I like to store things. I like to put it in a glass, big jar. This is 1.5 liters, a quart and a half, and fill up my my jars. So let me start filling them up. All right, let me grab a towel. I'm gonna put this on the towel and just tap it like this. So more fits in here and it settles. See how it settles and all of a sudden I have space in it? So I'm gonna add a little bit more. Okay, and now I'm gonna seal it. I'm using 4 jars lids right now, canning lids. I really like them. And this is a wide mouth. I do like to use wide mouth. It's much easier for canning. I just love it. So I'm gonna put a cover on, and then I have this cool little gadget that I got online. And it has 2 attachments. It has an attachment to a regular mouth and it has for a wide mouth. And all you do, you put this on and you press the button. And it sucks up all the air from this jar. It just takes a few seconds. It's gonna suck up all the air and it will seal just like this. And it will seal the jar. Look, see? Nicely sealed. So it has no air inside, so it's not gonna get hard. It's gonna be stored for a long, long time. And whenever I need it, I will open and I will use it for cooking, preserving, salting, whatever. Because what's life without salt? It has no flavor. It will have no flavor. We need salt. All right, second one ready to go. If you're interested to know where I purchase my canning lids or where I get this suction device, I will tag them under the video and it will be very easy for you to find them and purchase them. Oh, this one is not good. This one came off. Come on. Hold on a minute. It's not supposed to do that. Let me see. It's supposed to come off here. Let's try one more time. Take 2. Goodness gracious. It's all right. Okay, the lid is on. The cover goes on. Press the button and wait until it stops. All right. That's it. Now it worked. Sorry about that. But this is a really cool gadget and there's so many different types. Okay, so I just use this one and I really like it. So 2 big jars are ready for storage. And these ones we're going to be using for the next month or so, as long as we need it. Okay, so I have a few beautiful jars of salt to be stored away in a cool place, dry place. It's important that they dry. This is why I prefer to store them in jars with lids that are sealed properly and there's no chance of moisture getting in. You may ask me why I'm not doing it in a Mylar bag. It's possible to do it in a Mylar bag, but with the Mylar bag, you have to cut it each time to open it, and then you kind of begin to lose some of that efficiency and of the Mylar bag. So this is why I prefer to do it in a jar. It's very easy to store them, and that's how we use it. At least that's how we do it on our homestead. If you have a different method on your homestead, on your farm, please share in this channel right below in the description, in the comment section. So we would love to learn. Please share your methods of storing salt, because life without salt is no fun. We do need salt. Have you ever met a person who is so hyponatremic, meaning low salt, that they actually confuse and they're unable to maintain a clear thought? So it is important that we have proper amount of salt. I'm not telling you start eating salts by gallons, by pounds. No, it is important that we keep balance between sodium and potassium to maintain that health. But we do need salt in our diet. We do need salt for the plasma value, meaning to keep proper amount of blood in our system, for our nerve impulse function, for our muscle function. Sometimes when people are working outside, we would be spending hours and hours working outside, or my husband splitting wood or whatever. I know it's important that I bring him a glass of water, but also bring him a pinch of salt that he can put in his mouth and chase it with water, because those are your electrolytes, okay? So sea salt is a wonderful method to get small amounts of essential minerals in that we require in the salt. All right, so Himalayan salt has a little bit less, sea salt has a little bit more. I'm not going to debate which one is better, which one is worse. I do use both and I love them both. And for canning preservation, I love to use sea salt, because pink Himalayan salt can leave a little bit of that pink residue that sometimes does not look very pleasant in a jar, but it doesn't change the flavor. It's still perfect. So friends, Preservation Month is today, right now, September. So preserve things that will be useful for you today and tomorrow. Because sea salt is not just wonderful and important for our nutrition, for our health, but it's a great way to disinfect things, to scrub things. If you need to scrub something for cleaning, sea salt, especially the coarse sea salt, is wonderful for that. So friends, please look into preserving salt for your family, for the future, because salt doesn't go bad unless it gets moisture and then it gets hard like a rock. All right, so friends, be encouraged and try something new.